Secretary, distinguished delegates, this Commission will now consider Agenda Item 3, Special Body on Least Developed, Landlocked, Developing and Small Island Developing States. The document pertinent to this agenda item is ASCAP/80/4 Summary of the Asia-Pacific Countries with Special Needs Development Report 2024, Leveraging Digitalization for Productivity and Decent Employment. At the outset, I'm pleased to invite opening remarks to be delivered by the Executive Secretary, Ms. Armida Salcia Alice Jabana. Madam Executive Secretary, you have the floor.
Very good afternoon, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. May I start by recognizing the presence of Excellency Senior Minister Lituch from Cambodia, Excellency Minister Madam Fekita Moloa Otoy Kamano from Tonga, Excellency Deputy Minister Mr. Yalakov Babanyas from Turkmenistan, my dear friend, USG High Representative of OHRLS, Ms. Rabab Fatima, distinguished participants, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Again, very good afternoon. It is always a pleasure to welcome you to the Special Body on Least Developed, Landlocked Developing and Small Island Developing States. Digitalization is more than mere technological advancement. It can be a transformative force to accelerate SDGs. It can empower countries in special situations to overcome conventional infrastructural challenges, enable access to global markets, foster entrepreneurship, and transform essential service delivery. Moreover, these opportunities come at a time when traditional labor-intensive industrialization is becoming less viable due to a surge in labor automation. As you know, one of the aims of the Summit of the Future later this year at the sideline of GA, or part of the GA in September, is to agree on a vision of digital technology as an engine for human progress or progress in development overall that can deliver full benefits while minimizing potential harm. Yet, transitioning towards a comprehensive digital economy presents its own set of challenges, ranging from establishing robust digital infrastructure to fostering a digitally literate workforce capable of navigating the complexity of a rapidly evolving digital landscape. The scale-biased nature of digitalization further complicates the landscape, potentially widening pay gaps and exacerbating rural-urban divide. Regional cooperation is pivotal, is key, especially in harnessing digitalization to bolster trade and investment for countries in special situations. Despite a growing engagement in digital trade and investment among these countries, their presence, particularly that of LDCs, is still very minimal. The substantial benefits that can arise from service trade, with its extensive positive externalities, underscore the need for digital trade cooperation and coordination to establish a robust regulatory environment. As one of the UN Regional Commission, and we are covering Asia-Pacific region, We are committed to supporting the efforts of our member states, especially those in special situations. Initiatives such as the Asia-Pacific Information Superhighway exemplify our dedication to fostering collaborative efforts in enhancing connectivity as well as digital integration. Such endeavors reduce digital trade barriers, stimulate investment, and contribute towards a more integrated and inclusive digital trade framework. This offers economic benefits and fosters long-term productivity and job creation across the region. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the Doha Programme of Action for the LDCs for the decade 2022-2031 notably emphasizes the critical role of digitalization and digital technologies in the sustainable development of LDCs. It highlights the necessity of enhancing digital infrastructure and literacy as foundational elements. Similarly, the upcoming global conferences for LLDCs and SIDS present an invaluable opportunity to underscore the significance of digitalization in the development trajectories of these states. These conferences are also a crucial juncture for the international community to offer support to complement the digital transformation efforts of countries in special situations. In conclusion, I wish to reiterate the importance of regional cooperation and partnership in capitalizing on digitalization for countries in special situations. I look forward to your deliberations on how we can intensify our collaborative efforts, particularly for harnessing the full potential of digitalization, bridging the digital divide, and laying the foundation for a future where digital inclusivity drives prosperity for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Executive Secretary. May I now invite Ms. Rabab Fatima, Under-Secretary General of the United Nations and High Representative for the Least Developed Countries, Landlocked Developing Countries, and Small Island Developing States to deliver opening remarks.
Mr. Chairman, my dear sister and friend, Executive Secretary Armida Alice Jabana, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, dear friends and colleagues. It's good to see you in the chair, Mr. Minister, and I extend to you warmest felicitations on your election as Vice Chair of this landmark 80th session, and I'm confident that under your leadership, this session will have a successful outcome. I thank ESCAP for holding a dedicated session on the LDCs, LLDCs and the SIDS on a very pertinent theme, leveraging digitalization for productivity and decent employment. And I also thank ESCAP for the excellent thematic report on this issue, which offers concrete recommendations for these countries. Excellencies, digital technologies have revolutionized the modern production frontiers. Yet it presents both challenges and opportunities for the workforce. Many of the labor-intensive jobs are becoming automated, leading to job losses by low-skilled workers in many of these countries. However, automation has created new opportunities for skilled workforce, fostering a shift of demand in the job market. For countries in special situations, access to digital technologies, education and skills development are more critical now than ever before to fully realize these potentials. Yet they face serious constraints. A staggering 720 million people in the LDCs are offline. For the landlocked developing countries, the figure is 60% of the population. And for the SIDS, it is 33%. Internet access is disproportionately more expensive in LDCs, and the SIDS. For example, it accounts for 36% of GNI per capita in LDCs as compared to only 1.4% in the developed countries. While digitally deliverable services exports have nearly quadrupled in the past 2 decades, LLDCs account for only 0.3% of this trade globally. The Asia-Pacific LDCs accounted for less than 1% of the region's export of digitally deliverable services. And the SIDS are also at the periphery of this business. LLDCs and the SIDS are also lagging behind in seizing the tremendous potentials of artificial intelligence. Take, for instance, the potentials of AI-powered precision farming technologies. UNCTAD estimates that embracing such digital tools can enhance agricultural yields in these countries by up to 70% by 2050. And the list goes on, Excellencies. We clearly need a more innovative approach, scale, and speed to make a real difference. Allow me to share 5 specific points in this regard. First, there must be adequate policy support at global and regional levels to integrate digital technologies and tools for sustained improvements in productivity and the creation of decent job opportunities in these countries. They need strong support from the development partners, the United Nations and other stakeholders, including, importantly, the private sector, to facilitate technology transfer and financing. South-South and triangular cooperation can also contribute significantly in this regard. Second, it is critically important to prioritize on education, skills development, and entrepreneurship. Education systems need to integrate digital literacy and ICT skills from an early age. Curricula need to be tailored to prepare graduates to meet current and future demands of the job market. There must also be lifelong learning opportunities to continuously adapt to the demands of new and evolving job markets. Moreover, nurturing a digital entrepreneurship ecosystem is also critical to spur innovation, create high-quality jobs, and attract international investments. Third, we need to significantly scale up investment in ICT infrastructure. ESCAP estimates that LDCs, LLDCs, and SIDS in the Asia-Pacific region need investments of approximately $8 billion, or 1.2% of their combined GDP, to close the ICT infrastructure gap by 2030. The affordability of internet is another critical issue. The United Nations Broadband Commission has set a target for affordable entry-level service at 2% of GNI per capita for these countries. The LDCs, LLDCs, and the SIDS need strengthened global partnership to achieve these goals. Fourth, we must ensure that the benefits of the digital era are maximized while addressing its potential risks. The recently adopted United Nations General Assembly resolution on the promotion of safe, secure, and trustworthy artificial intelligence system is an important step forward in this direction. The United Nations Secretary General's advisory body on AI, in its interim report on governing AI for humanity, have also provided important recommendations in this regard. Member states are now working together to reach an agreement on a global digital compact by September this year, which aims to define shared principles for an open, free, and secure digital future for all. These global initiatives are expected to facilitate wider application of modern technologies for the greater benefit of humanity within established global norms and standards. Excellencies, finally, we need stronger multi-stakeholder partnerships. The Doha Programme of Action for LDCs has a dedicated focus area on STI with specific targets, commitments, and deliverables. The new Programme of Action for the SIDS, which has just been agreed by consensus in New York by the Preparatory Committee of the SIDS-4 conference, identified STI and digitalization as key action areas. And the draft document for the LLDC3 conference has also identified STI, and structural transformation as key priorities. A concerted effort is needed by development partners and international organizations, including the private sector, to meet their STI commitments in line with these important programs of actions, especially through enhanced technical and financial support. And the implementation of the WTO Article 66.2 is critically important in this regard too. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, allow me now to briefly update you on the most recent activities of my office in support of these three groups of countries. I'm happy to share that the roadmap for the implementation of the Doha Programme of Action, the DPOA, has been finalized. It identifies stakeholder actions, key indicators, and milestones for the next decade across the 6 priority areas. We have also made significant progress in taking forward the 5 deliverables of the DPOA, namely a sustainable graduation support facility, an online university for the LDCs, International Investment Support Center, food stockholding, and crisis mitigation and resilience building for the LDCs. And I thank the government of Qatar for announcing its support to implement 2 of these deliverables in the first phase, namely those on resilience building and on food stockholding. And this is indeed a very significant step forward in realizing the Doha Programme of Action. We have also taken concrete steps to revitalize the work of the United Nations Technology Bank for the LDCs, which is based in Istanbul. It is playing a catalytic role in undertaking technology needs assessment for the LDCs, facilitating technology transfer and strengthening capacities and know-how. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the government of Turkey for its continued support to the Technology Bank. Excellencies, for the SIDS and the LLDCs, this year is a critical one. We are just about a month away from the 4th International Conference on Small Island Developing States, the SIDS-4, to be held in Antigua and Barbuda, and the 3rd United Nations Conference on the Landlocked Developing Countries. A key deliverable of the new SIDS Programme of Action, the Antigua-Barbuda Agenda for SIDS, the ABAS, is to establish a SIDS Center of Excellence in Antigua and Barbuda, which will include a SIDS data hub, a technology and innovation mechanism, and an island investment forum. The zero draft of the new Programme of Action for the landlocked developing countries also proposes some specific deliverables, namely an infrastructure investment finance facility, the regional agriculture research centers, and a high-level panel of the UN Secretary General on freedom of transit. These deliverables, Excellencies, could be the game changers in accelerating sustainable development in the SIDS and the LLDCs. And I count on ESCAP's continued support and partnership to ensure the full and effective implementation of the next programs of actions in the region. These 2 conferences are our once-in-a-decade opportunity to bring about transformative changes in the 32 LLDCs and the 39 SIDS. And I call upon all your governments to participate at the highest political level at both these events. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, as the UN's High Representative for the LDCs, LLDCs, and the SIDS, 92 of the most vulnerable countries in the world, I am committed to keeping the priorities of these countries high on the UN's agenda, especially to enable them to harness the full benefits of the evolving digital technologies for their sustainable development and prosperity. Let us work together to support them, to achieve that, to ensure that no one is left behind. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Ms. Fatima, for those valuable, inspiring remarks. It is my honor to invite His Excellency Dr. Lee Tuch, Senior Minister, President of National Committee for ESCAP, and First Vice President of the Cambodian Mine Action and Victim Assistance Authority, Cambodia, to deliver his statement. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Dr. Amida Salsa Ali Zabana, and the Secretary General of the United Nations and Executive Secretary of ESCAP, Honorable Madame Rabat Fatima, Under Secretary General of the United Nations, High Representative of the least developed countries, landlocked developing countries and small island developing states, and Secretary General of the Third United Nations Conference on the landlocked developing countries. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Cambodian delegation, it is my pleasure and honor to address you today during this special body. Today, at the pivotal 80th session of the Commission, we unite under the theme Leveraging Digital Innovation for Sustainable Development in Asia and the Pacific. This gathering is a testament to our collective resolve, where technology is the key to unlocking sustainable prosperity, enhancing governance, and fostering an inclusive society that leaves no one behind. With profound respect and a deep sense of the global solidarity, I extend my gratitude to my Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, who also attended the opening session yesterday, and to Honorable Dr. Amida, Secretary of ESCAP. Your leadership is not just a lighthouse for our nation, but also illuminates the path for regional cooperation and development. Under our Prime Minister's guidance, Cambodia is navigating the digital revolution, aiming to harness its vast potential for societal upliftment and environmental stewardship. Cambodia's embrace of digital innovation marks a significant leap toward modernization and resilience. We recognize the immense potential digital technologies offer, from transforming public service delivery to revolutionizing agriculture with farming techniques. Our digital economy and society policy framework and the digital government policy are strategic roadmaps designed to propel Cambodia into the future, ensuring that digital empowerment reaches every citizen, enriching lives across both urban and rural landscapes. Our digital transformation journey is deeply intertwined with our national development goals. It is a comprehensive approach that includes upgrading our digital infrastructure, promoting digital literacy, and fostering a vibrant ecosystem for startups and digital entrepreneurship. These efforts aim to catalyze economic growth, enhance the competitiveness of Cambodian businesses, and provide new opportunity for our youth. Mr. Chairman, the future we envision is one where digital technology serves as a uniting force, bridging disparities and bringing communities together. This vision is rooted in the understanding that innovation has the power to drive social change, economic growth, and environmental sustainability. By leveraging digital solutions, we aim to make education more accessible, healthcare more responsive, and governance more transparent and accountable. Cambodia's commitment to digital inclusivity and sustainability mirrors the broader aspirations of Asia-Pacific region. We are keen on sharing our experiences, learning from our neighbors, and collaboratively overcoming challenges. The path forward is paved with opportunities for regional cooperation, from sharing digital infrastructures projects to cross-border data exchanges that bolsters trade and security. Our digital agenda is inseparable from our commitment to sustainable development. We are employing digital tools to monitor and protect our natural resources, combat climate change, and ensure that economic development is both inclusive and environmentally sound. Initiatives like smart water management systems and digital monitoring of deforestation activities underscore our dedication to leveraging technology for the planet's well-being. Addressing the digital divide is paramount to achieving this vision. We are investing in digital education and infrastructure to ensure equitable access to technology, particularly for rural and marginalized communities. Our goal is to build a society where everyone can benefit from digital economy, fostering a culture of innovation that fuels national and regional growth. Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this momentous era of digital transformation calls for collective action and shared responsibility. I urge our regional and international partners to join us in this journey, leveraging the ESCAP platform to foster dialogue, share best practices, and mobilize resources for digital initiatives. By working together, we can harness the power of digital innovation to achieve our shared goals of sustainable development, peace, and prosperity. As we conclude, let us reaffirm our commitment to a united and prosperous future fueled by the endless possibilities of digital transformation. The discussions and collaborations fostered here in Bangkok are just the beginning. Together we can create a resilient and sustainable Asia-Pacific region where digital technologies empowers every community and innovation drives our collective progress. Finally, I extend my deepest appreciation to all of you for your dedication to forging a brighter future. Our shared journey towards a digitally empowered, sustainable, and inclusive Asia-Pacific starts with our action today. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May I now invite Her Excellency Ms. Fekito Meloa Katoa Utoi Kamanu, Minister of Meteorology, Energy, Information, Disaster Management, Environment, Climate Change and Communications, Tonga, to deliver her statement. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Distinguished Chair, Executive Secretary of UNESCAP, Under Secretary General and High Representative for the Least Developed, Landlocked and Small Island Developing States, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies and Delegates. I'm honored to address you today. 2024 is a pivotal year for small island developing states. We mark the conclusion of the current 10-year Samoa Pathway Program of Action for SIDS, and we look forward to the upcoming 4th International Conference on Small Island Developing States, our SIDS 4, to be held in Antigua and Barbuda in May 2024. The SIDS 4 conference will adopt a new 10-year international compact as the successor to the Samoa Pathway Program. Tonga had the privilege to host the Pacific SIDS preparatory process to SIDS 4 during August last year in Nuku'alofa. The Nuku'alofa outcome document reaffirmed that SIDS remain a special case for sustainable development given their unique and complex vulnerabilities. And this is consistent with the 2030 Agenda and its Sustainable Development Goals. This is consistent with the Sendai Framework on Disaster Risk Reduction, the Addis Ababa Action Agenda on Financing for Development, the New Urban Agenda, the Paris Agreement, and the 2050 Strategy for the Blue Pacific Continent. Climate change threats are now existential. The heightened frequency and severity of cyclones, rising sea levels caused by melting polar ice, plastic and other pollution in our oceans, more frequent heat waves and fires all cause suffering in the region. The related consequences are many. I draw your attention to the Pacific Leaders' Declaration in 2019 on preserving maritime zones in the face of climate change and related sea level rise. The declaration proclaims that the rights and entitlements related to our maritime zones, as established and notified to the Secretary-General of the United Nations under the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, shall continue to apply without reduction, notwithstanding any physical changes connected to climate change-related sea level rise. The Pacific region has made significant progress in preserving marine and land biodiversity. We work hard to achieve our vision of blue ocean economies. To advance, the region needs to prioritize the protection of marine and land habitats, the promotion of biodiversity, the enhancement of food security, and the establishment of more equitable partnerships. The Pacific region faces the challenges of non-communicable diseases. Gender inequality persists, particularly to achieve gender parity and political empowerment. There are still significant gaps in the development of disability inclusion. Priority has been placed on enhancing the rights to high-quality education and accessible education. Priority has also been placed on equitable economic growth, focusing on sustainable transport, communications and technology, sustainable tourism, sustainable energy, migration, and remittances. The challenges we must meet are many. To do so, the Pacific region faces limitations in terms of financial resources and access to sustainable finance, and this continues to include multiple challenges in accessing climate finance. This hinders our ability to implement our development priorities on time and effectively. In this vein, the Pacific supported the Multidimensional Vulnerability Index as a tool to evaluate the vulnerabilities of SIDS and to enhance the ability to access development and climate finance, including official development assistance. We need action, and action means implementation, and we must look at the means of implementation from finance to trade, data and statistics, multi-stakeholder conferences and coordination mechanisms. In this, the SIDS partnership framework plays a critical role as it provides a platform for engagement with development partners and other relevant stakeholders. As a small island developing state, Tonga recognizes the unique challenges and opportunities that digitalization presents. The evolving nature of the service sector, coupled with advances in digital technologies, offers us a transformative tool to leapfrog traditional development models. Digitization holds immense promises, yet it requires addressing underlying challenges such as infrastructure limitations, poor digital literacy, and weak regulatory frameworks. These challenges hamper our ability to harness its full potential. As the ASCAP Digital Transformation Index reveals, the least developed countries, including many SIDS, score poorly in all 5 pillars of network, infrastructure, government, business, people, and ecosystem. The Nuku'alofa Outcomes document underscores the Pacific region's commitment to harnessing digitalization for sustainable development. In order to fully maximize our potential, we give utmost importance to consistently investing in digital infrastructure, increasing access to broadband, and lowering the cost of connectivity. Building conducive ecosystems is essential for digital enterprises and enabling everyone to actively participate in the digital economy. The benefits of digitization extend beyond increased productivity and employment. Digital technologies make services more tradable and give a chance to smaller countries to participate in global markets. They also require less capital investment, allowing us to pursue development despite our many resource constraints. The Pacific region can effectively tackle many of our challenges by harnessing digital innovation for sustainable development. We are now short 6 years away from concluding the Agenda 30. We declared a collective vision to leave no one behind. There has been a lot of discussion about making that a reality and tapping into the potential of new technologies. Managing the risks and benefits of new technologies require ethical guidelines, regulatory frameworks, research, and public education. To make the most of these advantages, it is crucial to address disparities in access to digital resources. The Nuku'alofa Outcomes document highlights the importance of enhancing the accessibility of affordable and reliable Internet with specific emphasis on underserved communities. We strongly encourage global collaboration and assistance in narrowing the digital gap so that all our people can reap the benefits of digital advancements. It is equally important to invest in digital skills. Our focus will be on providing training and building capacity to empower our employees with the knowledge and skills required to succeed in the digital economy. This will not only improve our efficiency, but also generate new job prospects. Addressing climate change, natural disasters, and limited energy access is crucial when harnessing digitization. The Nuku'alofa Outcomes document highlights our commitment to the advancement of renewable energy solutions, the advocacy of climate resilience, and the allocation of resources to early warning systems. And these measures will create a more stable environment for digital innovation and economic growth. In order to make the Agenda 2030 a reality and fully utilize the power of new technologies, it is crucial to invest in digital infrastructure. By expanding broadband access and reducing connectivity costs, we can bring about a significant positive change in our society, and this will enable every individual to participate actively in the digital economy. To improve infrastructure and reach underserved areas, we need increased public funding and international assistance. Prioritizing the enhancement of digital literacy amongst our workforce is crucial, as it directly affects our capacity to adopt new technologies and capitalize on job prospects. Enhancing digital innovation is of utmost importance as it enables better financial inclusion and easier access to e-education, e-health, and e-government. In addition, the need for ethical guidelines, regulatory framework, research, and public education are also essential to manage the risks and benefits of new technologies. So, and to conclude, the Pacific region finds itself currently at a pivotal moment on many fronts. We and you cannot afford to leave us behind. In this, digitization offers a promising solution to the challenges which confront us. By fully embracing digital innovation, making significant investments in our people, and cultivating strong partnerships, we have the potential to create a resilient future for our nations. Together, we can utilize technology to amplify our voices, accelerate progress, and ensure that everyone is included in our efforts to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. The time to act is now, and by working together, we can and must shape a prosperous and sustainable tomorrow for generations to come. Thank you. Malo apit.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your statement. Now may I invite His Excellency Mr. Yalakov Babaniaz, Deputy Minister of Finance and Economy, Turkmenistan, to deliver his statement. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to express my gratitude to ESCAP for the invitation to participate in the 80th session and for the high level of organization. Thank you also for the opportunity to share our vision of the transformative opportunities of digitalization and automation in the context of landlocked as well as developing countries and small island developing states. We note the relevance of the issues addressed in this session on the use of digital technologies to enhance productivity and provide decent employment. Digital innovations and technologies in today's world are an important component of a nation's social and economic development. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought into focus the need to increase mobility in various models of digitalization, since it has demonstrated the relevance of technology for development and its critical role in advancing sustainable and stable development. In addition, the use of digitalization and the latest innovations in the use of the internet allow for job growth in efficiency in many sectors of the economy. The introduction of digital technologies offers new opportunities for economic development, policy implementation, and management of public services, while having the potential to improve natural resource management and facilitate the transition to a circular economy by filling information gaps, increasing efficiency, and enabling new forms of economic activity, including changes in production and consumption patterns. Turkmenistan is actively developing the sector of digital services and communications. The ITC sector is implementing projects aimed at creating a communication system based on modern technologies, which makes it possible to increase the volume, quality, and variety of communication services and internet access in all regions of the country. One such project is aimed at the development of mobile communications in the country. Taking into account the growing demands of the population, the transition to full and widespread availability in Turkmenistan of mobile communications, including 4G and in the near future 5G high-speed internet. This makes it possible to constantly increase the number of internet users, as well as use both for the development of the service sector and for e-government. Another project aimed at developing electronic services is the creation of a national data center. Our national communication satellite is used in many sectors, including rural areas, where digitalization is also developing with new equipment from the world's leading manufacturers. With the help of our national satellite, remote settlements of the country are receiving access to high-speed internet services. In recent years, more than 1,000 small-scale telephone switching stations have been built in rural areas. I would like to note that the success of sustainable development largely depends on our ability to adjust economic approaches at the national, regional, and global levels. In this regard, the ESCAP Secretariat's report provides an opportunity for new approaches to transform our countries. We believe it important to build capacity in the area of digitalization and enhance knowledge sharing. It is important to note that empowering developing countries by sharing experiences and developing national competencies should ensure their equal participation in the global economy building processes. Distinguished participants, in conclusion, I would like to encourage all participants of the Special Body on Least Developed Countries, Landlocked Developing and Small Island Developing States, to support the priorities of cooperation on the use of digital technologies in various areas of activity, including services, which will help to increase employment as well as affect productivity and output growth. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The Secretariat has prepared a video to highlight the key messages of the Asia-Pacific Countries with Special Needs Development Report 2024. May I ask the conference room officer to play the video?
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, dear colleagues, today I have the pleasure to present some of the insights from the Asia-Pacific Countries with Special Needs Development Report 2024. The traditional development path of labor-intensive industrialization is becoming less viable for the countries in special situations. Automation has threatened to displace routine tasks and reduce the comparative advantage of labor-abundant developing countries. We have already seen a significant shift of labor from agriculture to low productivity services in many countries in special situations. Unfortunately, this is not necessarily translating into relatively higher levels of productivity, as the move is taking place largely to low productivity informal services. However, the services sector is experiencing a remarkable evolution bolstered by digitalization. With the diffusion of digital technologies, services are increasingly exhibiting attributes traditionally associated with manufacturing. Advances in technology are making services more tradable. Smaller economies, such as SIDS, can now leverage digital platforms, particularly in information technologies, finance, and tourism, to reach global markets. These platforms offer significant economies of scale and growth potential, as digital businesses often require less upfront capital and infrastructure compared to manufacturing. They are ideal for resource-constrained countries. The services sector also boasts a wide range of job opportunities, from high-skilled positions in the information technology sector and finance sector to accessible roles in digital marketing and customer services. The services sector's adaptability and responsiveness to digitalization trends make it a dynamic engine of economic growth while ensuring its resilience in the face of evolving market dynamics. To seize the opportunities of digitalization for countries in special situations, we must address the critical challenges. Limited digital infrastructure, particularly in the least developed countries and SIDS, hinders internet access, stability, and affordability. Low digital literacy rates and a lack of skilled professionals further impede progress. We also need to realize that the rapid pace of digital transformation risks widening the digital divide, both within and between countries. The way forward, therefore, lies in a multi-pronged and balanced approach. First, we must prioritize investment in digital infrastructure, broadband networks, mobile connectivity, and innovative solutions such as satellite system and solar mini-grids can bridge the digital gap, especially in remote areas. Then, fostering a digitally literate workforce through educational program and training initiatives are paramount. Additionally, robust regulatory framework are essential. We need strong data protection laws, effective cybersecurity measures, and policies that promote fair competition and prevent exploitation in informal sectors. Finally, collaboration is also key. Strategic partnership between government, businesses, and civil society organizations can accelerate digital transformation. Regional initiatives such as the Asia-Pacific Information Superhighway and digitalization of rail networks can further enhance connectivity and integration. Sharing good practices such as Bangladesh Digital Literacy Program, Nepal's support for digital entrepreneurs, and the innovative use of digital currency in Cambodia offers valuable lessons for all. The international community also has a crucial role to play. The upcoming global conferences on the LLDCs and SIDS this year present a vital opportunity to garner international support for these countries' digital transformation efforts. Implementing the Doha Program of Action for LDCs, which emphasizes digital infrastructure and literacy, is another important step. I thank you all for your attention and look forward to your deliberation.
Thank you, Secretariat, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. I now open the floor for country interventions. I would like to urge all speakers to limit their interventions to 3 minutes. The first speaker is Her Excellency Ms. Kerekere Tabua, Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs, Fiji, to be followed by Bangladesh. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Deputy Executive Secretary and Madam Under-Secretary General, Excellency Ms. Fatima, it was an honor to meet you in Fiji last week, Madam. Chair, I understand how difficult it is to address a group of people whose bandwidth may have shrunk during the course of a very busy day, especially when we're towards the end of a long day. But I thank all the representatives of member countries for your attention in advance. Mr. Chair, thank you for this opportunity to contribute to this important session, and in particular, to share some of the experiences that we as a small island developing economy in the Pacific face in our efforts on the digitalization transformation. In Fiji, we believe that providing a policy and governance framework to guide Fiji's digitalization journey is pivotally important. The creation of enabling policies and regulations undergird our ambition to reform our policies and legislations. As I had earlier mentioned, and drawing references from our partners at the regional and sub-regional levels, Chair, my government is taking the lead role in the reforms and are now working towards a national digital strategy and an e-commerce strategy. Current legislative frameworks focus on targeted sectors such as information technology and Fiji's Electronic Transaction Act of 2008 allows trade via internet, online safety and consumer protection. Allow me, Chair, to share some of the development progresses in our digital journey. First, the initiatives by government that include the following. 1, Fiji's Digital Government Transformation Program. It operates as a one-stop shop for government agencies, contact information, and also allows feedback from members of the public on government services. 2, Digital Fiji provides online information portals and applications for a limited number of services like registration of company names, foreign investors, business applications, and application for government scholarships, the registration for exams, and also the publishing of results of these exams, the application for forestry licenses, and online services for marriage registration and requests for birth, death and marriage certifications. Efforts are also being undertaken, Chair, in 3, to modernize the government websites, providing options for online applications and procurement. Online shopping platforms such as Post Fiji, eShop, VT Card through Vodafone, and payment through M-Pesa mobile wallets have also now been initiated. Second are the e-commerce initiatives by government in partnership with our private sectors and regional counterparts that involve a range of development. And these include Sole FinTech app that encourages a proper budgeting, spending, and fund automatically distributed to predetermined expenses, including savings. The e-transport card top-up via M-Pesa. E-transport is the nationwide mandatory electronic payment services for buses that was launched in 2017. There's also the Pack Farmer app. In 2018, a mobile app for Fijian farmers was launched, allowing our farmers to access information on government support schemes, commodity prices and weather, to connect with potential buyers, to make digital payments, provide credit opportunities for and access to credit and other financial services such as cash flow and budget assessment. Also, there is the new remittance platform. Now, in 2018, Vodafone Fiji launched a new remittance platform partnership with RIA Money Transfer. Then this allows Fijians to receive remittances from their families or diaspora in Australia and New Zealand directly onto their mobile phones. There's also QR Pay. This is a Vodafone enhanced M-Pesa service with the launch of a new smartphone application to provide an enhanced user interface for existing customers. Chair, as a small developing nation, we recognize that developmental challenges are further compounding the risks of our digitization journey, and these include issues such as the costly internet connectivity, especially for our rural and maritime communities. The e-trade readiness for those in these rural and maritime communities, especially those who come from a mature age group. Again, geographical remoteness, subsistence farmers, our small export base and domestic markets, irregular shipping services and the air connectivity transport costs, as well as low automation of most business approval. We also have associated risks such as cybercrime, and these are also being considered in Fiji's digital strategy. The e-commerce challenges include the urban-rural digital divide, and I mentioned that very often this morning in the 5 bilaterals that I attended. Customs clearance, our poor road conditions, the low trade volumes, again, the digital transformation in rural areas, very slow to catch up to that in urban areas, and so forth. And also the lack of maintenance has resulted in high transport costs and constant delays. Chair, in conclusion, Fiji would like to emphasize the point that regional cooperation is important to support our digitalization efforts, particularly for small developing states like my own, like Fiji, and I think I speak for the rest of the Pacific SIDS here today. My delegation has, as I said, held discussions this morning with development partners for the purpose of learning from them on their digitalization efforts. We learned some very good examples, very good lessons, and I am so happy for the generosity of time from our bilaterals this morning. So we're keen to take these further bilaterally or sub-regionally for our learnings at home, which will complement our efforts through capacity building, connecting with relevant institutions, instituting South-South cooperation or triangular cooperation where required. And ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your support in advance in our endeavor. Chair.
Thank you, Fiji, for your statement. Now I call on His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Shahriar Kader Siddiqui, Secretary, Economic Relations Division, Ministry of Finance, Bangladesh.
Distinguished Chair, Her Excellency Under Secretary General of UN, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to you all. It is a great pleasure to participate in this 80th session of ESCAP. As we convene here today, it is imperative that we address the critical issues faced by the least developed countries, landlocked developing countries, and small island developing states, with a particular focus on Bangladesh's perspective. In a world riddled with complexities, it is our collective responsibility to ensure that the voices of the most vulnerable nations are not only heard but acted upon with urgency and compassion. Despite several obstacles and limitations, LDCs in the Asia-Pacific region have made significant strides towards leaving the LDC category. In this region, 10 out of 11 LDCs have achieved graduation requirements due to clear developmental success. and Bangladesh is expecting to graduate in 2026 together with Nepal and Laos PDF. Bangladesh is transitioning from Digital Bangladesh to Smart Bangladesh, which is highly in line with the theme of the ESCAP annual session. We have made significant strides in expanding connectivity with the government's Digital Bangladesh initiative, playing a pivotal role in ensuring digital inclusion. The newly announced Dream in 2022 Smart Bangladesh set next major step towards realizing our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's dream of Sonar Bangla, a golden Bangladesh, by achieving the status of developed country by 2041. In the era of 4IR, technology and innovation play vital roles in economic development through initiatives such as the National Broadband Policy and the Digital Bangladesh Vision 2021. Significant progress has been made in bridging the digital divide. Today, millions of Bangladeshis have access to high-speed internet, empowering them with knowledge, information, and avenues for socio-economic advancement. The digital center model has facilitated the delivery of over 89.31 crore services to citizens, showcasing its significant impact. At present, more than 16,500 entrepreneurs have achieved self-reliance by offering services to the public through digital centers, with over 5,200 of them being women entrepreneurs. Bangladesh has launched Equality Center for inclusive innovation to ensure equality and reduce discrimination in the use of digital platforms and citizens' participation in it. The vision of this center is establishing a global center for promoting and calling for commitment for various governments for zero digital divide. National Portal of Bangladesh is the largest portal of the world, which connects more than 52,200 government offices. Distinguished delegates, the government of Bangladesh considers international trade and export as the engine of growth, and thereby we are encouraging our private sector to invent and adopt digital innovation. Bangladesh signed the Framework Agreement on Facilitation of Cross-Border Paperless Trade in Asia and the Pacific by UNESCAP as one of the first 3 countries on 29 August 2017, and subsequently ratified the agreement after completion of the internal process in 2020. Currently, Bangladesh is assessing its position and preparing a roadmap for implementation of the agreement. The successful implementation of the agreement will facilitate cross-border trade and will reduce the time and cost of trade transactions. We have also established a central digital commerce cell to facilitate digital trade in the fair manner. We have formulated the National Digital Commerce Policy, Digital Commerce Guideline, and Digital Business Identification Registration Guideline. We have also taken initiative to establish a Digital Commerce Authority by enacting a new law. We believe that these initiatives will ensure safe and secure business transactions through online platforms and systems. Excellencies, Bangladesh's cross-border trade volume has been continuously increasing, and this is a result of different initiatives, including domestic trade policy, duty-free and quota-free market access facilities, and other flexibilities tailored to LDCs. Distinguished delegates, we acknowledge that our journey is far from over, and there is still much work to be done. Here, we would like to propose that UNESCAP take into account the following actions for promoting sustainable development of LDCs, LLDCs, and SIDs. UNESCAP may come forward with support measures in building back better and deepening resilience of the countries with special needs of LDCs, LLDCs, and SIDs in this region. UNESCAP acknowledges the necessity of increasing the effort of developed countries 4 times to boost the export of LDCs. UNESCAP needs to materialize this support. It is indeed to specify the pathways that developing countries could have their support for the sustainable development. Integration among economies in the Asia-Pacific region in this area, including digital connectivity, environmental cooperation, health and food security, trade linkages, investment and value chain participation would boost the region's resilience to future shocks. UNESCAP may provide the necessary support to these countries to move up in the resilient regional value chain, as well as consolidate mutual cooperation in the areas of health, food security and environmental protection. Lastly, mainstreaming climate change adaptation and mitigation efforts into global development strategies is imperative to safeguard the livelihoods and well-being of the vulnerable countries. In conclusion, I would like to request all member states and stakeholders present here to reaffirm their commitment to the development and well-being of LDCs, LLDCs and SIDS. We need to work together tirelessly to build a more inclusive, equitable and sustainable future for all, leaving no country behind. I wish the event a success. Thank you. Thank you very much for kind attention.
Thank you, Bangladesh, for your statement. Now I call on His Excellency Mr. Ardasher Qadri, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary and Permanent Representative of Tajikistan to ESCAP, Tajikistan, to deliver his statement, to be followed by Azerbaijan.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, this year is an important milestone for the group of landlocked developing countries as we move toward the comprehensive review of the implementation of the Vienna Programme of Action for the decade 2014-2024 in Kigali in June 2024. In our view, the implementation of the transit potential of landlocked countries, including the implementation of regional transport and transit corridors that correspond to the priorities of the VPOA, will help accelerate the achievement of sustainable development goals. It is well recognized that lack of access to sea and isolation from world markets complicate the integration of our countries into the system of multilateral trade and has a negative impact on other aspects of sustainable development. Therefore, we focus on our commitment to the decisions and recommendations of the VPOA to enhance its connectivity with a special focus on the improvement and development of transport and energy infrastructures, promoting and expanding sub-regional and regional trade. Tajikistan considers the energy sector, along with transport, as one of its top priorities. Hydropower stations, which generate 98% of the electricity in Tajikistan, are the country's main source of green, clean energy. The government of Tajikistan is taking comprehensive measures to balance the generation and consumption of energy by modernizing and increasing the capacity of its existing hydropower stations. Tajikistan supports the implementation of principles of the green economy. Therefore, we adopted the strategy on green economy development in the Republic of Tajikistan for the period of 2024 and 2027. We believe that it is necessary to encourage, promote and invest in every possible way in increasing the share of renewable energy among LLDCs, in the transfer of modern and advanced technologies, in improving the efficiency of energy supply and energy saving. Another area where Tajikistan has a stake is water. It is the most valuable resource without which all our efforts to bring about development, peace and prosperity to the world would be lost. As you know, Tajikistan is the initiator of a number of water-related resolutions at the UNGA, including the resolution proclaiming the period of 2018-2028 as an international decade for action, water for sustainable development. We consider that there is a need to fully utilize the opportunities offered by the Water Action Decade as well as the Water Action Agenda adopted as a result of the UN Historic 2023 Water Conference to promote the timely implementation of water-related sustainable goals and targets in LLDCs. It is worth mentioning that to support the implementation of the Water Action Decade, the government of Tajikistan plans to host the third international high-level conference on the implementation of the decade on 10-13 June 2024 in Dushanbe. Taking this opportunity to invite the esteemed group of LLDCs, ESCAP members and associate members to take an active part in the Dushanbe Water Conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tajikistan, for your statement. Now I call on His Excellency Mr. Rashad Khaligov, Deputy Chairman of Board, Innovation and Digital Development Agency, Ministry of Digital Development and Transport, Azerbaijan. Floor is yours, followed by Nepal.
Mr. Chair, dear Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. In today's interconnected world, the digital revolution is fundamentally reshaping our societies and economies, offering unprecedented opportunities to sustainable development. The Republic of Azerbaijan stands at the forefront of this transformation, demonstrating how digital innovation can enhance governance, promote inclusivity, and support sustainable environmental sustainability. Our nation has made significant strides in creating digital ecosystem that serves our citizens and contributes to our sustainable development goals. At the cornerstone of this success is our e-government portal, which offers more than 400 public services, streamlining processes and making government accessible to all citizens. Dear Excellencies, as a country, we have embraced a holistic approach to digitalization, implementing a single sign-on system across more than 100 government and private sector information systems. This integration not only simplifies access for users, but also enhances the security and efficiency of our digital services. Innovation is digital identity in another area where Azerbaijan leads, offering several types of e-signatures, including cutting-edge e-signature based on biometric information systems. This approach not only ensures the security of digital transactions, but also paves the way for more personalized and accessible public services. Our national data and document exchange platform facilitates interaction among government information systems, underpinning our commitment to transparency and efficiency. This platform is vital for our digital governance ecosystem, enabling real-time data sharing and decision-making. Azerbaijan has also developed sector-specific digital solutions such as e-procurement, e-justice, e-social, e-notarius, e-food, e-agro, e-education, and etc., e-tax. Each of these platforms is designed to meet the specific needs of our citizens while also contributing to our broader goals of efficiency, transparency, and sustainability. In the context of global environmental challenge, our digital transformation initiatives offer valuable insights into how technology can support sustainability. from improving resource management through IAGRO and food safety platforms to enhancing transparency in environmental governance through e-justice and e-notarius, digitalization is a powerful tool in our sustainable development arsenal. As we prepare to host a global community for COP29 in Baku, we look forward to showcasing not only our commitment to climate action, but also how our digital advancements can support environmental sustainability. The conference will serve as a platform to explore the synergies between digital innovation and sustainable development, highlighting the role of the technology in advancing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In closing, let us remember that the digital transformation journey is about more than technology. It's about people, inclusivity, and creating sustainable future for all. Azerbaijan remains dedicated to sharing our experience, our learning from the global community as we collectively harness the powerful digital innovation for a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your statement. Now I call on His Excellency Dr. Ramesh Chandra Paudal, Honorable Member, National Planning Commission, Nepal, to be followed by China. Your Excellency, floor is yours.
Honorable Chair, Excellencies, Delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste and a very good afternoon. Nepal, scheduled to graduate from LDCs in 2026, has incorporated the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development in its national policies, plans, and programs. These all have a direct link with the digital technology. As a result, an average progress of 50% toward SDGs 2022 targets and 41% towards 2030 targets have been made. For the rest of the results to put in the track, we are working hard on the individual indicators. The progress on poverty reduction was remarkable before COVID-19 pandemic, but about 5% of the people fell into the extreme poverty because of the pandemic. Also, remarkable progress is found in health, education, and social indicators, including the gender empowerment. Despite these overall advancements, sustainable efforts needed to ensure universal, high-quality education, safe water supply, and enhancement of employment-related indicators and financial inclusion issues. The industrial sector and urban planning, tying them with advanced digital transformation. Effort is needed to minimize the environmental impact of consumption patterns along with global society. In this regard, a notable achievement has been made in community-based forest management, afforestation, and the conservation of iconic species like tigers and rhinos. Therefore, the overall progress highlights the need for intensified and concrete efforts to enhance partnership to bridge the gap and achieve the remaining targets by 2030. Ensuring that the vision of global cooperation and sustainable development is realized. The VNR 2024 of Nepal, on which we are working rigorously now to coherent with the 16th plan of the country. The focus is on accelerating the achievement of these all-encompassing goals of development. Our prioritized themes include decent job and social protection, food, health and education systems transformation, sustainable and resilient urbanization, climate action, digital transformation, and data management. The LDC graduation will have a lot of implication to the country's trade, aid, and investment environment, ensuring financing of the SDGs, capacity building, strengthening institutions, and fostering collaboration to create a conducive environment for research and innovations will be essentials in the coming years. As of now, Nepal, being a LLDC, faces a problem of scale of economies to lose the trade competitiveness, resulting in a massive brain drain. Nepal needs a huge investment to promote indigenous goods and technology that would have better comparative advantage, and it can strengthen the trade competitiveness. Putting e-governance and digital transformations in the respective layers of federal structure of governments. Probably these issues are most common in all least developed, landlocked developing and small island developing states. I thank you all for this opportunity and kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramesh, for your statement. Now I would request Mr. Ko Yusheng, Permanent Representative of China to ESCAP China, to deliver your statement, to be followed by Uzbekistan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At present, the world economy is going through a fragile recovery, and the challenges of climate change, energy and food security are intertwined. Against this backdrop, countries in special situations, i.e. the least developed countries, landlocked developing countries and small island developing states are facing a more severe and complex development environment as they struggle to implement the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Countries in the Asia-Pacific region should uphold the spirit of solidarity and cooperation to help countries in special situations address these challenges and promote sustainable development. We should uphold true multilateralism, safeguard the international system with the UN at its core, and advocate equal and orderly multipolarity and universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization. We should resolutely oppose attempts to roll back globalization and overstretch the security concept, and reject all forms of unilateralism and protectionism to create a favorable environment for the development of countries in special situations. Development should be our priority. Developed countries should honor their commitments on ODA and international development cooperation. Multilateral financial institutions, the private sector and social organizations need to act together to promote South-South cooperation. We should also strengthen the alignment of development strategies, fully leverage the comparative advantages of countries in special situations in terms of resources, markets and labor force, and create greater space for development. Mr. Chairman, since its inception over 10 years ago, the Belt and Road Initiative has brought plenty of development opportunities and space to countries in special situations. Landmark projects such as the Siem Reap Angkor International Airport in Cambodia and the Maputo Bridge in Mozambique have created hundreds of thousands of job opportunities in LDCs and greatly boosted their development momentum. Projects such as the China-Europe Railway Express, China-Laos Railway, and China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan Highway have created new channels for LLDCs to open up to the world and new platforms for international cooperation. The number of voyages made through the Silk Road maritime shipping routes has exceeded 14,000, and a multi-country, multi-port network has basically taken shape, which has enabled SIDs to get connected and better integrated into the world economy. The Global Development Initiative proposed by China has received the support of more than 100 countries and international organizations. China has set up a Global Development and South-South Cooperation Fund totaling $4 billion, and a large number of small and beautiful projects benefiting people's livelihood have been implemented, benefiting dozens of countries in special situations. Mr. Chairman, China actively supports ESCAP in playing its unique role and has provided funding to the ESCAP Secretariat through the China ESCAP Cooperation Program to carry out projects on structural transformation and climate financing for countries in special situations. China will continue to actively promote high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, accelerate the implementation of the Global Development Initiative, push for the implementation of the Doha Programme of Action and other documents, and support the upcoming 4th International Conference on SIDS and the 3rd UN Conference on Landlocked Developing Countries in achieving positive results, so as to help countries in special situations overcome challenges, enhance development capacity, and work together with us to promote sustainable and inclusive development in the region. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, China, for your statement. Now I would request to deliver the country statement Mr. Ayubkhon Sultono, Head of E-Government Development Department, Uzbekistan, to be followed by Lao PDR. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good afternoon, esteemed delegates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Uzbekistan, nestled in the heart of Central Asia, faces the unique challenges of being not just landlocked, but double landlocked, which means we have to cross two countries to get to any ocean. There are only two countries in the world which face the same issue, which are Uzbekistan and Liechtenstein. We, rather than seeing this as a limitation, have embraced the digital age as a catalyst for transformation and prosperity. In recent years, Uzbekistan has made significant strides in advancing digital infrastructure and capabilities. With growing young population eager to embrace technology, Uzbekistan has prioritized investments in telecommunication literacy programs. One notable example is the government's ambitious Digital Uzbekistan 2030 strategy, which aims to accelerate country's various sectors, including education, healthcare, finance, and governance. A comprehensive roadmap, Uzbekistan is seeking to harness the power of digital technologies, improving public services and enhancing the quality of life for its citizens. Furthermore, Uzbekistan has set ambitious goals for its development for the upcoming years. For instance, reaching top 30 in the UN e-government ranking, which we are doing as e-services portal, providing over 600 services for our citizens. Second, increasing IT export levels to $5 billion USD. Uzbekistan has turned focus towards digital services and their outsourcing based on its geographical and strategical location. Last year alone, IT services export has reached over $340 million US and is projected to reach $1 billion USD by the end of this year. Moreover, we are working on creating a workforce of at least 300,000 IT specialists for export-oriented digital development directions. Uzbekistan, having a population of 37 million people and over 60% of them being youth, it means we are putting in immense work on support training of young specialists. Uzbekistan recognizes the importance of regional and international cooperation for digital government, digital development, and innovation and entrepreneurship. The establishment of technological parks, startup investment in the incentives, Uzbekistan's dedication is fostering a thriving digital ecosystem that drives innovation and creates economic opportunities. Uzbekistan welcomes international and private organizations to cooperation towards the development of digital infrastructure, digital economy, and IT outsourcing. However, challenges remain, including ensuring equal access to technologies and diminishing the digital divide, particularly in remote and underserved areas. In conclusion, Uzbekistan stands as a beacon of hope and progress in the digital transformation of landlocked nations and is ready to work bilaterally on overcoming such challenges. By leveraging innovation and embracing regional cooperation, Uzbekistan demonstrates that geographical location should not be a barrier to development in the digital age. Let me seize the opportunity to reform our commitment to supporting the digital cooperation between the countries and multilaterally. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Uzbekistan, for your statement. Now I call on Mr. Alam Langsui Razbong, Director of the United Nations Economic and Social Affairs Division, Department of International Organization, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Lao PDR, to be followed by Japan. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Mr. Chair,
distinguished delegates, my delegation would like to express our appreciation to the Secretariat for its detailed report on the Asia-Pacific countries with special needs Development Report 2024, leveraging digitalization for productivity and decent employment, which corresponds with this year's theme of UN ESCAP. Mr. Chair, this digitalization plays a vital role in narrowing the digital gap and enhancing connectivity infrastructure in countries with special situations. For instance, the government of the Lao PDR has adopted strategies and vision to help transform itself from a landlocked to a land-linked country. This includes the implementation of Lao-China Railways project, which has enhanced connectivity and supported the country's vision to serve as regional hub. Such connectivity initiative is crucial for facilitating trade, investment, people-to-people exchange, and regional integration, as well as creating employment opportunities, ultimately contributing to socio-economic development. Being both an LDC and LDC country, we have attached great importance to the implementation of internationally agreed development goals, particularly those contained in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the Doha Program of Action for LDCs, and the Vienna Program of Action for LDCs, with the aim to maintain countries' development momentum in graduating from the least developed country status by the year 2026. The government of the Lao PDR has adopted the country's smooth transition strategy for LDC graduation. While recognizing some progress has been made, there remains much more to be done, including the need for the country to apply digital innovation to not only ensure smooth, quality, and sustainable graduation, but also to bridge the persistent divides in infrastructural, technological, and human capabilities, and to accelerate shift towards greater reliance on digital solutions. Against this backdrop, the Lao PDR has been working closely with the UN Technology Bank for least developed countries to jointly conduct its technology needs assessment, and this ongoing process is crucial to clearly see the country's technology needs so as to better formulate relevant policies and action that could help lift forth the country's socio-economic development. Towards this end, the Lao PDR has continued to enhance closer cooperation and collaboration with international organizations and countries in the region in order to mobilize adequate financial resources and technical support, door best practices, and promote technology transfer, including through UN ESCAP framework, South-South cooperation, and regional frameworks such as ASEAN, among others. So the country could be in the better position to build its digital government, digital economy, and digital society. I thank you.
Thank you, Lao PDR. Now I would request Ms. Motoyama Yoshiko, Deputy Permanent Representative of Japan to ESCAP, Embassy of Japan in Thailand, to give your statement, to be followed by Armenia. Your Excellency, from Japan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Japan recognizes that achieving the twin goals of promoting the digital economy whilst avoiding attendant risks is key in responding to the special needs of LDCs, LLDCs, and SIDS in their efforts to achieve the SDGs. The importance and necessity of such support have been emphasized as one of the key tasks for the upcoming 4th SIDS International Conference scheduled for the end of May this year. Indeed, Japan is working on strengthening support for developing countries in the digital field. In our development cooperation efforts, we have set promotion of digital transition, or DX, as one of the 3 key focal areas and strive to actively propose solutions to help achieve a society where the benefits of digital transition can be obtained safely, fairly, and stably by the people of those countries. Furthermore, we are also extending cooperation in helping train individuals who will be the bearers of digitalization. For example, we're offering capacity building and training sessions for key government officials who are set to promote ICT in various ministries and agencies in their countries. Japan earnestly looks forward to participating in the discussions at the upcoming 4th SIDS International Conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Japan, for your statement. Now I call on Mr. Andronik Grigorian, First Secretary of the Department of Multilateral Policy and Development Cooperation, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Armenia, to be followed by
connectivity through the promotion of quality, sustainable and resilient infrastructure, the provision of affordable and equitable use of transport networks, and facilitation of trade. Armenia, jointly with the OHRLS, organized a thematic ministerial meeting on December 14-15, 2023 in Yerevan, and entitled Equitable, Affordable and Inclusive Transport Connectivity as a Driver for Sustainable and Resilient Economies. The meeting provided a platform for the ministers and high-level representatives of LLDCs from all regions, transit countries, development partners, regional organizations, to discuss the current challenges and identify possible solutions to improve transport connectivity and LDC's better integration into the global trade market. One of the main takeaways of Yerevan meeting was exchange of ideas on how to establish favorable conditions for LDCs to develop digital economy and e-commerce by creating an appropriate environment that includes the necessary policies, legal and regulatory frameworks. We also thank UNESCAP for the Asia-Pacific countries with special needs development report 2024 that acknowledged that one of the consideration role of regional cooperation leverage digitalization in trade and investment. In this regard, we'd like to know more on how the OHRLS and regional commissions can collaborate and come up with joint inputs on how support member states in their efforts of better maximizing the transformative power of digitalization and the realization of the trade, transport and transit potential of least developed countries, landlocked developing countries and small island developing states. I thank you.
Thank you, Armenia, for your statement. Now I call on Mr. Mais Sontara, Consular, Thailand, International Cooperation Agency, TICA, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Thailand, to be followed by USA. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For least developed countries, landlocked developing countries, and small island developing states, leveraging digital innovation for sustainable development is extremely important. In countries in special situations, especially in Asia and the Pacific, a significant proportion of the workforce is concentrated in labor-intensive and low-productivity sectors, such as agriculture, manufacturing, and the informal economy. Digitalization can be a catalyst to deliver the promise of development. Thailand stands ready to share our experience in utilizing digitalization to achieve sustainable development. Let me be brief and capture that in 4 points. First, leveraging digital technologies, innovation, and artificial intelligence can contribute to sustainable development through their application in areas such as data-driven decision-making, fintech, and real-time global positioning system. Digital technologies require less capital than traditional technologies and bring about efficiency in conducting business as well as precision in providing public services. In fact, for our case, the benefits from digital technologies enhance Thailand's approach for a more balanced, people-centered, and sustainable path to growth. The Sufficiency Economy Philosophy, or SEP, our long-standing, locally driven development approach, coupled with digital technologies, bring about balance, moderation, and efficiencies in our economic and social development. Thailand also utilizes the biocircular green economy model to ensure a balance between conservation and sustainable use of natural resources as part of our transition to green, low-carbon, and climate-resilient society. Second, The digital divide must be bridged by prioritizing education and through capacity building of crucial human resource. Thailand is doing its part by offering training courses to development partners, focusing on building digital literacy skills and the application of technology and innovation in the traditionally labor-intensive sectors. For example, among the 20 online short courses offered by Thailand International Cooperation Agency this year includes a course on climate-smart agriculture to share knowledge and practices on smart farming techniques and innovations to address climate challenges. Another online course is on the application of cutting-edge technologies to post-harvest food processing and waste utilization. Third, digital technology should be utilized to enhance connectivity to facilitate greater flows of goods and services. Fostering regional cooperation by investing in the infrastructure required for digital transformation is also necessary. The international community must be committed to improving digital infrastructure and creating digital platforms for countries in special situations. As such, Thailand commends its CAS initiative in creating the South-South Cooperation Connector to facilitate the matching of offers from development providers with the needs of partner countries. The platform will not only improve collaboration between countries, but also promote networking among development partners in the Asia-Pacific region. It is a concrete example of how to leverage technology and innovation to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of development cooperation. Lastly, I would like to reiterate that South-South and triangular cooperation is the crucial tool to help bridge the digital divide between developed and developing countries. Thailand is a staunch supporter of South-South and triangular cooperation through knowledge sharing and appropriate technology exchanges that can be applied to each country's own development context. Mr. Chair, Thailand stands ready to work with our development partners to implement the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development for the realization of the Sustainable Development Goals without leaving anyone behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Thailand, for your statement. Now we have the video message from Ms. Jima Semunigos, Mission Director, USAID, Pacific Islands Regional Mission, USA.
Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, Bula Vinaka from Fiji. Aligned with this year's theme of harnessing digital innovation, I'm pleased to join you all virtually in this important session of the Commission. The United States values its partnership with countries in special situations. As one of the largest and most consistent partners to LDCs, the United States provides around $11 billion a year in ODA worldwide. This year is pivotal as we prepare for the 3rd UN Conference for Landlocked Developing Countries and the 4th UN Conference for Small Island Developing States. Our dedication to collaborating with SIDS and LDCs is demonstrated by the U.S. government's elevated presence in the region, which includes the opening of the USAID Pacific Mission, which I lead, an expanded USAID office in Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, and Vanuatu, and new U.S. embassies in the Solomon Islands and Tonga. We continue to address together existential threats of climate change and the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, which set back global progress towards achieving the 2030 SDGs. In line with this year's theme, I would like to highlight some of USAID's work to address persistent development issues through digital technologies, especially in the Pacific Islands. Through our Digital Connectivity and Cybersecurity Partnership, or DCCP, USAID is supporting 12 Pacific Island countries. Through DCCP, we have rolled out diverse digital skills and literacy training programs across the Pacific in partnership with private technical firms such as Samsung, Google, and Amazon. As the region transitions to 5G deployment, USAID and the State Department have also engaged Pacific partners on Open Radio Access Network, Open RAN technology. I'm proud to say that through UNESCAP, we have also started to identify technical areas where digital technologies such as IXP or Internet Exchange Point will be useful. USAID is also supporting the development of an undersea cable spur that will connect Palau to the world's largest undersea cable, the Echo submarine cable. Additionally, the East Micronesia cable will connect the Federated States of Micronesia, Kiribati, and Nauru. This cable, once finalized, will connect over 100,000 people in the region. It's also the first infrastructure project under a trilateral partnership for infrastructure investment among Australia, Japan, and the United States. USAID is joining others in the US government to catalyze the international community and foster public-private partnerships to accelerate progress in the Pacific Islands. We look forward to working more closely with our partners in the region as we work towards achieving the progress of SDGs through digital innovations. I wish you all a productive day. Thank you.
Would any other delegations like to take the floor at this time? I see none. This concludes our discussions under Agenda Item 3. Just before we adjourn for the day, may I call on the Secretary of Commission to make an announcement, please.
Thank you, Chair, and very good afternoon to all distinguished delegates. I would like to remind delegates that this afternoon we will have still a number of side events hosted by our member states and partner organizations, and you can see the list again of the events for the day on the screens. The further information is available on the website, and these side events are open to all participants, so we encourage everybody to attend. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Secretariat. We will resume the discussions tomorrow, Wednesday, 24th April at 9 a.m. sharp, to take up Agenda Item 2B, Sub-Regional Perspectives. Thank you, distinguished delegates. The meeting is adjourned.